Hockey fans, we are here with the defending Dineen Cup champion, head coach Tyler Holske of the South Shore Kings. The Kingdom reigned over the NCDC in the 23-24 campaign. On draft day, they're getting ready to try to do the hardest thing in all of sports, repeat at the top. Coach Tyler Holske with us right now. Coach, how are we feeling in the draft room?
Good. Yeah, we obviously finishing up the season about 2 weeks ago now. It's been hectic here these last 12 days or so. And this past weekend, we had a couple teams here at the pre-draft, actually in Foxborough. So I had the opportunity to get a look at some players here ahead of tomorrow, both, 07s, 08s, and, some guys for the phase 2 draft. So it's been good, and just trying to make some last few calls here leading into tomorrow and narrow down our list. So
now, Coach, when you win a championship in the NHL, you're always worried about player contracts the next year, right? Everyone becomes more expensive. In junior hockey, you don't really have that issue, but you do have age outs. You lose guys to the collegiate ranks. Can you kind of talk about where you guys are at as a roster makeup coming into this draft after winning the Cup?
Yeah, it's a great question. And, I look back at, my first year as head coach and GM and making it to the finals. And, we had a great group that came back for this year. I think it was a big part of why we got off to such a good start, just having that core group and that veteran leadership. But yeah, as far as this coming season, I think we'll have another good group. Some guys that maybe didn't get a big role this year, but down the stretch really stepped up. And I think the meaningful games that we played here in April, will really do them wonders here to start the 24-25 season. So I think, when all's said and done, probably have, 8 or 9 guys back from this year's team.
Now, Coach, the new phase 2 to the draft, drafting 04 to 06 birth years for 4 rounds in the back end of this thing. Does that change up any of your preparation here as we're leading up to draft day? Is it what's it look like for you right now in terms of strategy?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of everything, to be honest with you. Obviously, with the 07, 08 draft, obviously we're looking to build for down the road. But we have I would say a small group of 07s that we've targeted that will come to camp this summer. And try to make our team. So, and then obviously with the older draft, we're looking to fill some immediate needs, just with guys that we lost that are moving on to college.
Now, Coach, if I'm an 09 birth year, I'm going to be drafted into the NCDC next year, or I want to be drafted into the NCDC next year. What do you look for in preparation for a draft? What can a player do to put themselves on a watch list for a Dineen Cup championship team like the South Shore Kings and Coach Tyler Holske?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just control what you can control, and that's just going out and competing, every time you're on the ice, being a good teammate, being a good guy in the locker room. I think when we go out to watch players, the biggest thing we look for is compete in hockey sense, so I'd say compete hockey sense. Ability to think the game at a high level, and somebody that's going to play with intensity, and someone that's going to play at a high level. So I think it's just about controlling what you can control and focusing on yourself and surrounding yourself with good coaches and good players. So
now, Coach, if I'm focusing on myself as a player, I'm focusing on my young athlete that wants a chance to play for the South Shore Kings, a team that just raised a cup in the NCDC. What are some opportunities this summer? I got to imagine there's some places to go, some things I can sign up for. How do I do it to get myself in front of Coach Holske?
Yeah, so we have obviously just finished up the pre-draft this weekend. We just got done this morning. So some players there that we'll look out for tomorrow's draft. But after that, we'll head out to Los Angeles for a camp the last weekend in June 28th, 29th, and 30th. It's the third summer in a row that we've done it. It's been excellent the last couple of years. Get a lot of young talent that attends. And I think it's just for the players out on the West Coast, it's a great opportunity for them to stay home and for us to come out there and put together a camp versus, them having to spend, thousands of dollars to fly across the country to come out here. So we'll do that out in Los Angeles. And then we'll have our main camp the first weekend in August. We'll be doing that again at Sacred Heart University. We did that last summer there and was a big success. That camp will have our tenured players, drafted players, drafted players that will play for us this coming year and, 07s, 08s for down the road. Some free agent invites, and then obviously our returning players. So we're looking forward to those two camps, and we have a busy summer ahead of us, just trying to fill these roster spots. But we're looking forward to it. So,
Coach, you won a title 2 weeks ago. You're already working on draft boards. You're already going through the offseason. Was it hard to get this started? Was there a moment that you kind of took to reflect it all, or did you just get right back to work?
Yeah, it's we got right into it. So I work with the USPHL team, Sioux City Musketeers.
Yeah.
So I literally, right when we got done with the Deneen Cup, a few days later, I went out there for the USPHL draft and got back on Tuesday, and it was right into this. So no, there was no room there to sit back and reflect. It was just kind of one thing after another. So it's been good, obviously getting through this weekend and then the draft tomorrow. And I would say after that, we have a little break here before the camp at the end of June. So,
Coach Tyler Holske, you're all Dan K, first team head coach in the NCDC. You're coach of the year in my mind, in terms of when you win a title, you're my coach of the year, right? You win a Deneen Cup, you're my coach of the year. You look at Tyler Holske, coach, we congratulate you on an incredible season. The defending champions will be drafting. Coming up here, we throw it back to myself and Lucas Jones live on the NCDC Draft Show.